but it was more rewarding for me. And then for this album, the thing that was different was I shared a proper studio with a friend for about 2 years, a recording studio that had a lot of amazing gear in it. Most of it was his, and some of it was mine. And I could go in there and basically had complete privacy and had access to all this great gear and could basically just do whatever I wanted and follow whatever impulse. And it was really great. I would say the downside to it, if there is any, is just that when you're working on your own more, you don't get sometimes, the pleasure of that you have when you work with other people and their creativity is put into it. But the flip side of that is that you don't have to rationalize your ideas to anybody. You can just do it. So that was really great. And I experimented with lots of different instrumentation, and it was a really, really great experience.
the first couple of tracks, especially on Mergers and Acquisitions, there's a pretty strong like reggae influence. Like, where did that come from? Is it something personal, or
it just kind of bubbled up? And you know, I think part of it is, well, I started listening to more reggae and getting into that a little bit more, just the rhythm and the bass, and really enjoying that, and getting like a really fat bass sound and putting it in there. It's just, oh yeah, it was great fun. I think another part of it, and this is obviously more indirect, but the first album that I ever bought with my own money was when I was 7 years old, and it was The Police, Ghost in the Machine. And they were obviously, you know, heavily influenced by reggae, and so I, you know, that kind of beat and that feel has always I've always been drawn to that, and I've also, you know, really been drawn to you know, prominent bass hook, and sometimes having the bass so that it's not just you know, a straightforward root note, quarter note thing, but maybe something a bit more melodic and rhythmic, looped into the beat. And so when I was exploring some of these ideas, it just started to come out, and I just really loved the feeling of it. And but yeah, like standing back and looking at it, it's interesting how that influence came up a little bit more.
I've read that in 2000, before you guys kind of got it started on your own, you got quite ill, I guess?
Yeah, I basically, when I was 17 working in a factory, I hurt my back, and so I would have a recurring issue that would come up about every year and a half, and so I was just sort of used to dealing with that when it came up. But in 2000, when it came up, it was so severe, it was beyond anything that I had experienced. And I ended up spending almost an entire year bedridden. So physically, and I'm sure psychologically and emotionally, it had a huge impact on me. And then there was a while there where I thought I'll probably never even be able to hold a guitar again. So when I think about those times, it makes me appreciate even more everything from make music to go for a walk.